Okay, good morning, everyone. We're having Sunday school this morning. I want to welcome Silas to our class this morning. He's watching, I believe. I talked to him on the phone last night, and I asked him to be in our Sunday school class, so he's going to be in our Sunday school class this morning. So welcome, Silas. And any of the other children, I think there are some children from India that watch us. Mm-hmm. Welcome. We're glad for you to be here. And we're going to have our class this morning from the unit that we're learning Jesus Teaches Me. Well, Amani, did you ever see Jesus? Have you ever seen Jesus? No. That's right, haven't you? Lorea, have you ever seen Jesus? And have you, Nehemiah, ever seen Jesus? Okay. So how does he teach you? How does Jesus teach you, Lorea?
Through the Bible.
Yes, here's this wonderful book. It's the Holy Bible. And it is holy. It's the Holy Bible. And the Holy Bible is where we learn about Jesus and where he teaches us. We learn who he is. Who is he, Nehemiah?
Jesus.
Who is he?
God.
Yeah, he is God the Son, isn't he? He's the Son of God. And he is God. And he teaches us through his word. So today we're going to learn a new lesson. And the new lesson is, Jesus teaches me to forgive others. Jesus teaches me to forgive others. Amani, has Jesus ever taught you to forgive somebody? Really? Who? Who did he teach you to forgive? You know what forgive means? What does forgive mean?
Forgive means forgive someone.
Yeah. What does it mean? Forgive. We'll have to ask Lorea Webster, don't you think? You want me to ask her? Okay, Lorea Webster. What does the word forgive mean?
Forgive is a state of, basically another form of it would be compassion is one. Sympathy is another. And forgiving is feeling sorry for someone, and then
you forgive them, right?
Yes.
That's what you want to say.
Don't use the word forgive.
Right. Forgive. What you're trying to do is let them know that you're not holding anything against them. That even if they did you wrong, that it doesn't matter to you. You feel just as loving toward them as you ever did. Nehemiah, I'm going to have to forgive you for not paying attention. Bad. You want me to? You don't want me to forgive you? I better. Okay, so, you know, people do you wrong. They'll do things you don't like. And you're supposed to say, well, I could do that same kind of thing, and I wish somebody would not hold it against me, so I'm not going to hold it against them. Amani, have you ever been angry at Nehemiah? Have you ever been angry at him? Have you ever been angry at Lorea? You know what angry means? Mad? Have you ever been mad at Lorea? Or mad at Nehemiah? Yes or no? Yes, thank you. Nehemiah, have you ever been mad at Lorea? 1,000 times. Haven't you? Not 1,000? A lot. I've seen y'all mad at each other.
999.
I've seen y'all mad at each other. And so, when you're mad at somebody, when you're angry at them, the Lord teaches you to forgive them. That means quit being mad at them. Quit being angry at them. And treat them just as good as you ever did, right? Okay, so we're going to learn what Jesus taught today about forgiving one another. You know, Jesus, we can't see him, but we can see what people draw of him looking like. This is a picture that somebody drew of Jesus. And Jesus is sitting there teaching lessons. Let's look at the lesson he's teaching today. I'm going to read it from the Bible so you can really get it just like it is. Y'all want to? Listen. It says, Then came Peter to Jesus, his disciples said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? until 7 times. So Peter was saying, when Lorea is doing me wrong, how many times should I forgive her? 7? Right? 7 times. So she does you wrong, Nehemiah, she does you wrong. She grabs the toy that you want and won't give it to you. But Jesus says, forgive her. Do you forgive her? What if she does it 7 times? Would you forgive her? That's what Peter asked. Shall I do it 7 times? And then Jesus said unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. Lord, what in the world is 70 times 7? Can you multiply?
Yes.
What is it? How many
49
times?
times.
Whoa.
That's 7 times
That's 7
7.
times 7.
70 times 7.
Oh, 70 times 7. Sorry, 1 second.
Just put a 0 on the end of it.
700. No, wait. I messed up. I need to think.
Think again. 70 times 7.
490.
Yes, you got it. He
Sorry.
said, if not 70 times, but not 7 times, but until 70 times 7, which is 490 times. So Nehemiah,
It's almost 500.
Loria's just doing a bunch of things wrong, isn't she? She's breaking your toy. You will forgive her? She's stepping on your foot. You going to forgive her? She's taking Amani away from you and playing with her and not playing with you. You going to forgive her? I mean, go on and on and on. All day long she's doing stuff that you don't like. Are you going to keep forgiving her? Well, you got to get at least up to 490 before you can quit. That's what Jesus said. So start counting, right? Okay, he said until 70 times 7. Now you ready to listen to this story? Therefore is the kingdom of heaven likened unto a certain king, which would take account of his servants. Here's the king. Look, the king
10
is
feet tall.
the king is golden crowned and golden and purple. He's in
Where's
a
his
wonderful robe. He's in a wonderful robe. I think there's a red belt in there. Look, there's his staff. He's a wonderful king. But guess what? He had to take account of his servants. That means he was seeing what they had done. Had they done him right, or had they done him wrong? Okay? So, and when he had begun to reckon, one was brought unto him which owed him 10,000 talents. Let's just say we'll call the talent $1. How much did he owe him? $10,000.
And probably talents are more than $1.
Right. If it was just $1, though, he would owe the king $10,000. And guess what? And for as much he had not to pay, he could not pay the king. He owed him $10,000 and he couldn't pay him. What if somebody owed you $10,000, Nehemiah, and couldn't pay you? Would you like it? No, you wouldn't.
That's almost $1 million.
It's a lot. Would you like it, Amani, if somebody owed you $10,000 and could not pay you? I can't pay you. I'm sorry. I don't have $10,000, Amani. And listen what he said. For as much as he had not to pay, his Lord commanded him to be sold for a slave, and his wife and children, sell his wife, sell his children, sell him, and all that he had. If he had a house, sell his house, everything he had. If he had a goat, if he had a sheep, sell it all that he had, and payment to be made. So the king was saying, you're gonna go be a slave. Your wife and your children are gonna be slaves. And I'm selling everything you have. But guess what the servant did? What do you think he did, Nehemiah? Look what he did. What did he do? He fell down before him, didn't he? He started begging him, right? Look, Lorea. He started begging him. The servant therefore fell down and worshipped him, saying, Lord, have patience with me, and I will pay thee all. Ooh, I don't know how he's going to do it, but he made up his mind. I'm going to beg him to have patience with me, to not sell me as a slave. Don't sell me and my wife and my children as a slave. Don't take all that I have, please. Please don't do it.
What is this?
Nehemiah, I owe you $10,000, but please don't sell me. Please don't sell my children and my husband. Please don't sell my house. Please don't sell me. Brother Jose, would you go get Nehemiah a Kleenex, please? He sneezed. Please don't sell me. Just get one of those napkins off the table. Please don't sell me. He was begging the king not to sell him, wasn't he? What do you think the king did? Here you go. What do you think the king did, Amani? Do you think he sold him? You think he did? He did? What do you think, Lorea? Do you think he sold him?
No, he had compassion on him.
What's compassion?
Compassion is a feeling of sympathy,
Right.
and you feel sorry for someone.
Yes.
And
That's good enough, Lorea Webster. You don't have to do the long definition. He felt sorry.
Later.
He felt sorry for him. Oh, I shouldn't sell him. $10,000 is not worth me selling him and his children and his family. They'll all go to different places, and people will treat them mean, and they won't have anything. Oh, I don't want that for them. He had compassion on them. He felt sorry for them. The king felt sorry for him. And he said, then the Lord of that servant was moved with compassion and loosed him, didn't make him be a slave, and forgave him the debt. He forgave him the debt, Nehemiah. What does that mean?
That means,
Did he have to pay him back that $10,000? No. When you forgive somebody the debt, that means they don't have to pay you back. Have you ever been forgiven a debt? Lori, have you ever owed Granny something and she said, well, don't worry about it? Have you ever done that? I don't know.
I don't think I've ever owed you a debt.
I don't think you have either. But sometimes people owe you debts. Don't quit squeezing around with your feet. This is not a very interesting lesson.
It is.
Is it very interesting, Nehemiah?
Oh, Neo!
Well, you're going to learn something from it even if it isn't interesting, okay? You're going to learn about forgiving. Because the king felt sorry for the man. And he loosed him and forgave him the debt. That man owed him $10,000. Or talents, but we'll call it dollars today. Because we know what a dollar is worth. 10,000 of them.
That's like...
And the man loosed him from the debt, meaning you don't even have to pay it back. Wasn't that something, brother?
Yes, it is.
Oh my. And what's about your feet? Silas, are you messing with your feet out there? I hope not. These children are antsy. Okay. Forget that you have feet, please. Okay?
Well, how will we walk?
Until it's time to get up and walk. Okay, ready? So he forgave him the debt. Now, listen what happened next. Okay? Ready? But the same servant, this man right here, went out and found one of his fellow servants, which owed him 100 pence. We're going to say a pence is a penny.
What?
So he owed him 100 pennies.
$1.
$1. Only $1. And he laid hands on him and took him by the throat. All right, that's good enough. And saying, pay me that thou owest.
Wow.
Give me my dollar. The same man.
The king 10,000 talents.
Pay me that thou owest. Give me that dollar you owe me. And his fellow servant fell down at his feet, just like he did the king's, and besought him and begged him, saying, have patience with me, and I will pay thee all. What'd you think he did? What do you think he did, Nehemiah? Was he like the king? Did he do like the king? Or David? Well, guess what? He didn't. He didn't forgive him. He said, and he would not. But went and cast him into prison till he should pay the debt. Cast him into prison. He owed him $1, not $10,000. And he cast him into prison until he should pay the debt. How was he going to pay the debt when he was in prison? He couldn't. So the man was probably going to be in prison for the rest of his life over $1. Okay, now let's see what happened then. So when his fellow servants saw what was done and were very sorry, and came and told unto the Lord all that was done, they came and told the king. You know the man that you just forgave $10,000? You know what he did? He had one of our fellow servants over there. He owed him $1, and he threw him into prison until he could pay it. And the man begged him not to do it, and he wouldn't listen. What, Nehemiah? He begged him not to do it. Please, just be patient with me. I'll pay it to you. Please. And the man wouldn't forgive him, would he? Wouldn't let him go. Wouldn't loose him. He made him get into prison till he paid the debt. So other people came and told the king, this is what this man has done. Then his Lord, I want to wait for Nehemiah a minute. We're going to talk, it's all right, brother. He'll come back in a minute. Forgive him. We're talking about Jesus teaches us to forgive others. Jesus teaches us to forgive. Lorea, the Bible teaches us something about forgiving. Jesus taught us the Lord's Prayer. You know it? And what? Forgive us.
And forgive us our debts. And forgive our debts as we forgive our debtors.
Right. As we forgive. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. So God expects us to forgive others. No matter what you think about them. They shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have lied about me. They shouldn't have stolen my pretty toy. They shouldn't have broken my doll. They shouldn't have tattled on me. They shouldn't have said I did it when they did it. They shouldn't have done you can just name 100 things that somebody could do wrong to you. But Jesus teaches you to forgive. He teaches you to forgive. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's hard to forgive. But you know what I found out? If I'll be willing to forgive, Jesus will give me the power to forgive. I'll say, Lord, I forgive them. Even though I don't feel it inside, if I say, Lord, I forgive them, even though I don't feel it, when I would get up from there by saying that I forgive them, guess what? It's gone. I do forgive them, no matter who has done what to me. So we're learning today about Jesus teaching us to forgive. And I want you to understand what it means to forgive and then to learn to forgive. Okay? We'll do this while we're waiting for Nehemiah. This little round thing, you asked what it was. It's just called a baton. And we're going to pass the baton. And it says, forgive from your heart. Matthew 18:35. So this is where you start forgiving. Don't whistle in the class. This is where you start forgiving. You don't start forgiving in your head. This is not where it comes from. You start forgiving in your heart. There you are. Okay, come on. You start forgiving in your heart. That's where forgiveness comes. That's where you start disliking somebody or hating somebody or feeling hard at somebody is in your heart. It's not just in your mind, it's in your heart. It's where your feelings are. Put your hand on your heart. Okay. This says forgive from your heart. Okay. So how do you forgive from your heart, Lorea? More than just in your mind. Your mind you can say, I forgive. But if you don't say it in your heart, if it doesn't happen in your heart, you may not really forgive. Okay? Let's forgive from our heart. Let's think of somebody that did us wrong. Have you thought about anybody that's done? It's right in the middle. Have you thought about somebody that's done you wrong? Has anybody ever done you wrong? What if Mama spanked you for something you didn't do? Would it make you angry? But you know that you can't stay angry at your mama. Right?
Or else you get one for what you did do.
You can't stay. So you go, oh, Mama's so good to me. I forgive. See, you let it start happening from your heart because you really love Mama. Jesus helps us to love everybody. You know how he does that? How does Jesus help us to love everybody? Let me ask Brother Jose that. How does Jesus help us to love everybody?
He helps us to love everybody by shows compassion and knowing that they are the same as us.
Yes.
That we are all of one. We're all one family.
Right.
You know, and I might have my feelings, they might have their feelings, but in all reality, they have the same feelings we have. So if I treat somebody with harsh disrespect, then I know if I'm harshly disrespected, I know how I feel. So I give them the love that I know I want.
Right. When you realize that Jesus died for all of us. Jesus died for Amani. If I mistreat her, he loved her enough to die for her. And when you consider that every one of us was worthy of Jesus' death, God saw us as worthy of him dying for us, then it makes you love each other. You love them because Jesus loved them. So I'm going to love them. I'm going to forgive them. Did Jesus forgive you, Nehemiah? Has he ever forgiven you? Yes. So if Jesus has forgiven you, wouldn't you want to forgive others? Yes. Okay, so we're going to pass this baton around. I'll pass it to you. You pass it to her. We're forgiven from the heart. Pass it to me. Pass it to me. Okay, now start going faster. Go faster.
Faster, faster.
Up, up. Oh, I dropped it. Wait, Monty, will you forgive me for dropping it?
All right, faster.
Up, Monty dropped it. Say, will you forgive me for dropping it?
Sure. Faster, faster.
Oh, I threw it at you and dropped it. Will you forgive me? See, every day you're going to have things happen to you that people might do to you. And they may not do it on purpose. It just may be an accident. Sometimes when I try to go outside, Nala pushes me aside and steps all over me and goes out before me. And sometimes I step on her. Don't pull that. We have to forgive one another. Even if it's just a dog and in us, we forgive one another, right? Go ahead and pass it again.
Faster, faster, faster.
See, we want to keep it going, don't we? Let's keep it. Oh, Nehemiah, you forgive me for dropping it? Okay. All right, let's have it. Okay, we're going to quit that. Okay, so Nehemiah, while you were in the bathroom, we were talking about the Lord's Prayer. Do you remember you're learning it? Can you say it now? Let's see if you can say it. Our Father,
which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, in earth.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts,
As we
forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
From evil. For thine
is the kingdom and the glory and the power and the glory. Amen. Forever. Amen.
You about got it. Just about got it. Okay, but right in the middle of that prayer are these words. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Okay, let's get back to our story now. This is what Jesus taught. Jesus taught about this man, Nehemiah, that had begged the king to forgive him, and he forgave him all. But then he went and found his fellow servant that only owed him $1, and he owed, let's say $1. He owed this king $10,000. But this man said, have patience with me and I'll pay thee all. Did he have patience with him? No, ma'am. He did not. He took a hold of him and wouldn't have patience and put him in prison till he paid the debt. When you're in prison, you can't get any money to pay the debt. So, here's the king called him back. Called the servant back that had begged him to loose him. Listen what he said. What? No, ma'am, we're almost done. Can you wait? Because I want to tell you the rest of this story. It's very important. Okay? Okay, so the man fell down on his face before the king, and the king said, O thou wicked servant, I forgave thee all that debt because thou desirest me. You asked me, and I forgave you for $10,000. Shouldest thou not also have had compassion on thy fellow servant, even as I had pity on thee? Shouldn't you have forgiven him like I forgave you? It was only $1 and you wouldn't forgive him. You threw him in prison. And his Lord was wroth, that means he was angry, and delivered him to the tormentors till he should pay all that was due unto him. The tormentors, not just prison, but being tortured for not paying his debt. Until he paid it every bit, till all the $10,000 was paid. So likewise shall also, this is Jesus saying, so likewise shall my heavenly Father do also unto you, if ye from your hearts forgive not every one his brother their trespasses. Now, if you think you're going to ask God to forgive you, and he's going to forgive you for all the wrong things you've done, right? I'll ask God, forgive me, and he'll forgive you. But you won't forgive anybody else. You won't forgive anybody else. If you think that's going to work, remember this parable. Remember this story. It is not going to work. Well, yes, it is. But he wanted him to learn from having had compassion from somebody being good to him. He wanted him to learn how to be good to other people. So that's what God said. He said, if you won't forgive others, I won't forgive you. Amani, you got to forgive, don't you? Nehemiah, you got to forgive. Lorea, you got to forgive, don't you? Jose, don't we have to forgive?
Yes, ma'am.
We have to. Jesus teaches us to do it, and if we don't, God's going to call us up on that thing, ain't he? He's going to say, Sister Linda, how come you're not forgiving that person? And I forgave you for everything you've ever done to me. How come you're not forgiving them? God's so good, isn't he? He's so good. He wants us to forgive. He teaches us to forgive others. Jesus is teaching you, Nehemiah, to forgive. Now, how fast are you supposed to forgive? Are you supposed to hold it against them for a little while, just to make yourself feel better, and then forgive them? But how fast are you supposed to forgive them? 20,000. Real quick, you mean? Lorea, you're supposed to hold it against them overnight, like your friends that you play with? Are you supposed to hold it against them overnight and then the next day forgive them? When are you supposed to forgive them? If you can. If you just remember, when you start holding something against somebody, if I want God to forgive me, I've got to forgive them. Right? Okay, we're done with our lesson today. I hope you learned a lot. Okay, we'll see you at church. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.